Hey everybody, I'm Lynn Petrak, Senior Editor, Progressive Grocer. Welcome to Top Women in Grocery. It's a podcast focused on the trends, topics, and interests that move women forward in grocery retail. We spotlight extraordinary women in the industry who have successful careers and interesting lives and who make a positive impact on their workplace and world around them. And today marks a first. It's a first side-by-side interview on the Twig podcast. So, whoop. We're coming at you today from Western Michigan University at the Food Marketing Conference. Earlier this year, we had some of the food marketing program students on our podcast. They came and spoke at our Grocery Impact event, so we're big supporters of this program. And today we're excited to be joined by Katie Paul. She was a speaker at this year's conference, who also happens to be one of Progressive Grocer's GenNext winners from 2024. Our GenNext contest is actually open through April 14th, so if you haven't submitted an entry yet, we encourage you to do so. So check it out at progressivegrocer.com. A little bit more background on you, Katie. Katie's a Senior Vice President of Merchandising at KeHE, leading a team that develops supplier and retail solutions based on analytics, profitability, consumer insights, and category trends. She's been with KeHE more than 15 years, and she's a proud WMU graduate of the food marketing program here at Western's Hayworth College of Business, and she earned an Executive Master's of Business Administration from St. Joseph's University. Katie is active in KeHE in many ways, in her day-to-day role, and outside of it too. She's worked with the KeHE Women Empowered community to advocate for employee resource groups by participating and speaking in various events, including webinars and panels, such as the Women Empowered Leadership Panel. She currently serves as a board member for the KeHE Cares Foundation, a foundation that puts KeHE employee owners to work through volunteer opportunities in the U.S. and abroad. She's been all over the world with KeHE Cares, from Chicago to Honduras, Haiti, and Nepal. So that's a lot. Let's get started.
A lot, yes. Thanks for having me.
That's pretty impressive. So, that was definitely a characteristic of our GenNext winners and nominees who just do amazing things before they're even 40. So Katie, we're here at the FMC at Western Michigan talking to and about young women who are entering this industry. So if you had to give advice to somebody that might be a student or might be in the early years of their careers, what are some of your main tips?
Well, first of all, as a alumni of the program, as well as an advisory board member of the program, as well as KeHE being a big sponsor of the conference, I love being here in Kalamazoo. It energizes me. There's been such great speakers the last day and a half. There is so much that I wish I would have known. Graduating from Western Michigan and going straight into working at KeHE almost 16 years ago this June. I'll give a few pointers, I think, that are the big ones, and most of these have been mentioned the last day and a half too. I think the first one for me is find your passion. I am extremely passionate about the segment of the business that we work in, which is natural, organic, and specialty products. I am a consumer of health and wellness. It's part of my life. So eat what you sell or use what you sell and really love what you do and be able to sell it in a way that's authentic because it's part of your life. This was mentioned a couple of times too. Curiosity. Be intellectually curious. I think somebody said relentlessly curious yesterday. It's not only a dynamic industry like you mentioned, Lynn, but it's extremely complex. So ask a lot of questions, dig deeper. Knowledge is power.
It's okay to ask questions, right?
Yes, it's okay to ask questions, and don't shy away from learning from those that have been in the industry for a while. Right? I think another one would be just be hungry. Don't wait for your manager to ask you for something. Don't wait for your manager to push you to do something. Be self-motivated, be diligent. I'm not saying be like a bulldozer or something.
And it's hard when you're young to be able to feel you can do that, to feel you're empowered to do that, to ask questions or maybe speak up, but you can, and you should.
Absolutely. The students that we've seen here presenting, they are so smart. They're so clear in their communication.
So poised.
It's so awesome to see them. But they're assertive. Be assertive and have that desire for forward movement. One of my favorite quotes is always, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So do it. And then lastly, be humble. The younger generation has been stereotyped as, even millennial generation has been stereotyped as entitled.
Right.
Kill it. Yeah. Kill the stereotype. Humility isn't thinking less about ourselves, but thinking about ourselves less. So just be empathetic, be humble, and listen.
Yeah. I like that. That's all good advice, and it's all doable. Let's get rid of that entitled thing because that's been lugged around for too long.
Bugs me as a millennial. Yeah. I'm an old millennial, but it's still.
I'm Gen X. No one is. So it's okay. It's all good.
The forgotten generation.
The forgotten generation, but that's okay. So, and speaking of younger generations, you were one of our Gen X winners from last year, and your submission really stood out to our judges because it combines your accomplishments within your organization and kind of beyond it. So, what do you like about that role? It kind of combines consumer insights, category trends, and helping the supplier network in just a number of ways.
Yeah. I will say I've had a great 16-year career at KE, but it's been supported by many leaders and sponsors and mentors and just surrounding myself with an awesome tribe. Mm-hmm. So I always tell everyone the reason I'm even at KE is because I was graduating from Western Michigan and I had one job offer, KE, and I had a bunch of student loan debt, so I needed a job. So I packed up and I moved to Chicago, having never been before.
No kidding.
But I think one of the reasons that I've been there for so long is the people, right? I have an amazing team. They're smart, they're ambitious, they're all the things that I just mentioned, from hungry to humble. They're empowered, they're just driven. The list goes on and on. They're a great team. So I love what the team does because it's not black and white. Every day is different. We distribute 70,000 SKUs to over 30,000 store locations across all channels. We work with 5,500 suppliers. So
your truck's everywhere, so I know that's true.
Yeah, so when you think about it, they're synthesizing multiple sources of data, whether it be syndicated or panel or measuring that up to demographics and consumer insights and shopper, and then mirroring that with just their own natural and organic and specialty product expertise and knowledge and just trying to identify holistic solutions that are going to drive growth for brands and for our retail partners. So it's every day is different. It's never black and white, and you really have to figure out how to tell a story with all those different sources of data, which is what really excites me. And it's so fun to see when their trend predictions or their assortment recommendations come to life with ROI and do start driving growth. And what's cool about it is that it's a balance of the science and the data and the art, just your know-how.
And the storytelling. Yes. So many of your suppliers have such great stories. So it probably feels good to be in this company and this business too, right? Because there's so many people doing things in a positive, holistic way, just for the ultimate health and well-being of people.
And so many smart, passionate entrepreneurs that are in the natural and organic space, and they're just trying to do something better.
And it's got to be fun to kind of discover them and bring them to light too, I would imagine. That would be great.
Yeah.
And you find time to get involved internally with different, employee resource groups and other things too. Is there an example maybe you have of a particular, I'm sure there's probably lots, and I hate to single out one, but is there anything you want to talk about as an example of a really rewarding volunteer project that you've done?
Yeah, so I think for those that don't know, we give 10% of our pre-tax profits to KE Cares, which is a foundation, and we serve alongside our employees, and we partner with really grassroots organizations all across the world. Again, while it's not what brought me to KE, it has kept me there for the 16 years. You mentioned it. I've been all over the world with KE, from Haiti to Honduras to Guatemala and Nepal. Next Thursday, I leave for a trip to Ecuador with a group of KE employees.
Okay.
But I've also served domestically and locally in the Chicagoland area where we're headquartered too. And for me, it's really about using our organizational success to drive goodness across the world. It's interesting for me to think about this way too. So 10% of our pre-tax profits go to KE Cares. We're also an ESOP. So that really means 10% of my retirement. I have a stake in it. I'm employee owned, right? So 10% of my retirement's going to KE Cares. So why wouldn't I want to go see where those dollars are going and go serve with the people that are benefiting from those dollars? So the one that stands out to me is in 2019, I went to Nepal. I mentioned that. We fund a safe house for sex-trafficked women and children in Nepal. And it's a different type of serving trip because you're not going there with a task to do, with something to build.
Yeah. Or hand out.
Yes. You're really going there to just spend time with the girls. So going into it, you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to spend time with these girls? I don't speak the same language. We don't have much in common. And it turned into such a rewarding experience. You figure out a different way to communicate them. Yeah. We danced to their native music. We played Justin Bieber for them and danced with them. We played Jenga and Uno, and we shared pictures of our families. And I had gotten married the year before. I was able to donate my wedding dress to them because so many of their goals are just to get married in a white wedding dress, like the women in the U.S. So it's really unfathomable to think about what those women went through, but it was so meaningful in the way that we were able to bond with them.
And to do it in a way, I mean, it's very heavy. It's very serious, and to do it in a way where you can bring some light to it.
Totally.
And that's got to be the ultimate reward, I think, is empathy. You might not be able to speak the language, but empathy is the language that's cuts across everything.
Exactly
For
right.
sure.
Exactly.
So what are you doing coming up, you said? You're doing something?
Ecuador.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a new partner that we're partnering with there called Education Equals Hope. So we're going to learn about them and how they are serving in the Quito area of Ecuador.
Okay. And do you get a pretty big group from KP that goes?
There are 8 of us that are going on this
sizable.
one. Yeah, pretty sizable.
And that is a culture of caring that you see across your organization. And bringing it back again to young people, how's the workplace evolved in the sense that people, especially younger people, they want to do well in their jobs, but they also want to do good for others. They want their values to align with the organization. Do you see that especially among younger people too?
Oh my gosh, yes. I think, you want to have a caring culture, and we do have a caring culture, but I have to be clear too, we also have a very determined culture. I mentioned we're employee owned, so it creates kind of like a gritty environment. You want the company to do well, you want to win, right? That said, though, we always think about like putting people over problems and like surrounding yourself with others that want to do the same, right? Yeah. And we say to good team members, good leaders, they can return to joy in 90 seconds, meaning something really gets to them. I was about to swear. And they can they can compartmentalize that, and they really assume positive intent. And so just making sure we have those team members in our organization is really important to us. And then bringing it back to the young people in the industry, it's like, don't get worked up over the small stuff, and work for a place that, to your point, aligns with your beliefs, aligns with your values, that you're going to eat the food you sell.
Exactly.
And that's really important. I think it's important to me, but it's also, I think, even more increasingly important as we get into the Gen Z.
Yeah, I think they do. They want to walk the walk, and and maybe they will walk if a company doesn't align with their values, right? They might not be there for a long period of time and find a company that does. So when they stay, like you, 16 years later, after you're packing up from here, pretty much. So that really speaks well to what you're able to do there. And finally, we ask this of all of our Twig guests, and you talk about enjoying the holistic food that you guys, the healthy, good for you food that you carry. What are some things that are in your own shopping cart, Katie?
Oh gosh. So my husband's also has been in the food industry for years. So we shop at stores. We don't order food online, and we go into the store together. But I will say, because we are in health and wellness, probably 75% of our cart is produce. Wow. So avocados, tomatoes, berries, greens, asparagus, zucchini, mushrooms, peppers. We love it all. Yeah. I mean, like, so much produce. Couple things though. I don't eat meat, so I get a lot of protein from eggs, and I'll give a shout out to Happy Egg, their heritage
Happy
blend.
Egg Company, yeah.
Oh, their heritage blend with those amber yolks, so amazing. Cottage cheese is always in my cart.
That's trending on TikTok, right?
Totally trending because of the high protein content again. I'll give a shout out to Good Culture, but also Nancy's probiotic is really good.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Siete, their almond flour wraps, tortillas, always in my cart. Love those. Trying to think of like snacks. Catalina Crunch, they have like a cheddar blend snack mix type thing. That's really good. It's not only about what you put in your body, it's about what you put on your body. Deodorant, Hume deodorant. If you're looking for the transition, I know it's not an easy thing to transition. So good. Always in our heart. And gut health's really important to me as well. So I think Garden of Life, I take their daily probiotics. Apple cider vinegar gummies, always in my cart. Zao is a really great brand.
Easier than trying to put it on a spoon.
Totally. Tastes much better. Tastes much better.
I tried that for a short period.
Kombucha, both hard. I love hard. June Shine. I'll just give a shout out to June Shine. Luna Bay as well. And Healthane is my not hard kombucha that I like. And then I love a good chocolate. I'll give a shout out to Justin's, who's a staple from the Natural Organic. Their peanut butter cups are amazing. But also Chocolonely. If you haven't tried that, Tony's Chocolonely.
Oh my God. They have minis now, so that made me feel better.
And they have a mission, great mission behind the brand.
So. Oh, okay. didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
The mini ones, I feel like they're a little indulgent and they're so good. Because otherwise I start breaking off a chunk and then all of a sudden half of it's gone.
Yep,
it's the
you
big
eat the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. So I would imagine too, when you're traveling, and you go to different grocery stores, is it kind of cool to see products that that you guys helped bring there too?
Absolutely.
Is that kind of cool?
Absolutely.
Kind of rewarding.
It's a little bit weird that like when you go on vacation, it's the first thing you
Of course.
about. Like what grocery store is nearby, and we need to go visit that grocery store and check it out.
I feel that.
But yes, very rewarding. Love it.
I
love talking to the store owners, especially the small independent, mom and pop stores, and ask them about their distributor and ask them about what products are trending in their stores and what they're doing too. They're oftentimes so passionate about the industry too.
They are, and there's a lot to learn from them too. That's for sure. And they're lifeblood of so many communities. So I bet you that really is rewarding. And you see yourself there. We've been there 16 years. It sounds like you're there. You're a long tracker there.
Yes. I would have never thought that 16 years ago, but it goes by very fast, and it's a great organization to be with.
Oh, that's great. Well, and thank you so much for joining us today, Katie. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad we were able to do this side by side.
Me too. Hopefully this worked out. I think so. Maybe we set a new trend here of doing side-by-side podcasts, so I hope so. But if you have an idea for a Twig podcast, we want to hear from you. So please feel free to reach out to me at lptrack@ensembleiq.com. Thanks so much. Have a great day.